Hey guys, what's going on? This is your host with the most, your Snap DJ, coming at you live here with a quick update from today's OTAs. Now, a lot of people were waiting for these most of the day, as I was, and they just were released a little bit ago before I had other things to do, of course. But they are live and in the game right now. So let's go over them, shall we? I will do an audio version of this too. For those of you who are used to listening to the audio of this, I will have that out at some point, sometime, maybe tomorrow morning. But I figured I would just have this one live on the channel. So let's start off with I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I never thought I'd be saying this on one of these. Galactus got buffed. That's right. Galactus, the G-Man, got buffed. I cannot believe it. Finally, we've been clamoring for a buff for Galactus, and he got one. It's not much, but it's a buff. It's a buff. So the changes are he goes from a 6'5 to a 6'6. Galactus' stats have been lagging as we've added more 3/5s to the game, and we've been looking at buffing him for a while. One reason we waited was that we were wary of his interaction with Symbiote Spider-Man. Our internal testing didn't reveal this to be problematic, but we can't ever know. We've solved a deck for sure. Now that we've seen the potential to create a higher-powered Galactus hasn't proven too frequent and frustrating in the real world, we're comfortable with boosting Galactus up as we'd hoped to. So, not great. I'm not going to tell you I don't that. I mean, he's still a 6, so I'd still rather see like a 6'8 or something a little bigger to reflect the power of the card or the power that he has. But I'll deal with it. But listen, hey, it's a Galactus buff, right? So who cares what it is? But yeah, I'm just happy with any little thing we get for the G-Man. Maybe again, you know, he's got that Fantastic Four movie coming out next year. Maybe by that time, they'll have a lot of higher powered 6 cards that they can put out, and maybe they'll want to make him a 7 or make him an 8 at that point in time. So we'll see. So yeah, so the G-Man got buffed. There are a lot more buffs than there are nerfs here. Now there's a few nerfs which I can go over now. The biggest one I'm sure you are all going to want to hear about is Hela. Hela goes from a 6'6 to a 6'7, so that's an extra point of power, but her drawback has gone now to from -2 to -3 to each card that gets resurrected. Now, I will tell you, I play Hela with Luke Cage. So for me, unless I don't get to Luke Cage, it's really not going to matter much. But if you don't play with Luke Cage, and if you're playing her in something different, like maybe Tribunal or something along those lines, you're going to have to include her, or him rather, Luke Cage in your deck, because otherwise that's a lot. That's 3 power off of each card that comes back. So, you know, then you're talking a Giganto that's an 11. You're talking a Magneto that's a 9. So it makes it a little bit rougher. So this is definitely a big hit. Hela's seen a resurgence in popularity with Hellcow's change. No kidding. It's amazing. To activate, and Black Cat's buffed to 10. While her win and cube rates haven't been out of line, we strengthened the deck by making it easier to resurrect more power with less risk than before, which can be frustratingly difficult to contest for many decks. We're taking some additional power away from the resurrected cards as a bit of compensation for his added strength, but balancing it with a touch more power for Hela. So Hela will be now just 1 point of power more, be a 6/7, but all those other cards are getting a -3. So I know probably a lot of people are loving this. And they're thinking that it's wonderful because so many people hate the Hela meta, and I totally can understand that. But so there you go. Maybe it will relinquish itself, and maybe Hela will come down a little bit now that they have done this. But again, for my particular deck, which I took, by the way, just to 93, because I knew this, I kind of figured, well, there were rumors that some of the patch things were going to be, and one of the rumors was that Hela was getting a nerf. They didn't exactly say what. But so I figured, well, let me play the one I have now before it does get nerfed, because that happened to be the last time. I'm not a big Hela player, but they were, you know, I think one time when I started to play it, they nerfed it, and now they did it again. So, so yeah, that's Hela. Marvel Boy, of all cards. He's going from a 3-2 to a 3-1, so just a little adjustment in power here. Ever since Marvel Boys released Zoo decks with tons of one-cost cards have been riding high. We're glad to see this deck back in contention at the top of the metagame, but the games with an early Marvel Boy tend to put up some particularly strong numbers. We're making a slight ding here to make it a little bit easier to challenge the Zoo deck from multiple locations, given how often Gilgamesh can win them one. Yeah, Gilgamesh just wins the lane for sure. Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, Zoo is pretty strong. I've been playing some Zoo, and I've seen some stuff from. I've seen some good amount of wins from the deck. So yeah, okay. I mean, it is only a point of power to Marvel Boy, but two instead of a one in a lane, I guess would make somewhat of a difference. Next one is War Machine. Now this I thought was going to get changed, but not like this. This isn't that big of a deal, I don't think. He's just going from a 4-7 to a 4-6. So with the recent change from an on-reveal ability to an ongoing one, War Machine has really taken off. We're excited to see the decks with Ebony Maw and the Infinite that players have been perfecting for a long time finally get their day in the sun. However, War Machine's win rate has been among the highest in the game, and a lot of that has been in decks focusing on using Storm and Legion to deny the opponent any turn 6 plays. Yep. Those decks have a place, but because they can be frustrating to play against repeatedly, we don't want them headlining the metagame. We're taking War Machine down a peg by removing power, since that recent buff turned out a bit stronger than expected. They might have to change this more. I don't know if that's going to stop the storm lock that people are calling it. It is pretty much they don't like anything that forces players not to be able to play their cards. They don't like that. So I think that this probably will get even more of a change than it did. But we'll see. This is a start of it, and we'll see how it goes. The next one is Symbiote Spider-Man already. He's going from a 4-6 to a 4-7, so he gets a buff. Now, all these cards are buffs, I believe, going forward. Yeah, these are all buffs now. So War Machine goes to Symbiote goes to 4-7. That's going to be nice with the Galactus combo now, because I know people were doing that, so that's going to be nice for that. We've all found a ton of awesome things to do with Symbiote Spider-Man, but from re-triggering Doctor Doom to safeguarding the power of Human Torch, but a lot of these strategies have been inconsistent, and when they don't pan out, Symbiote Spider-Man has been underwhelming on board presence. To ensure those cool things are less risky, we want to raise the floor so Symbiote Spider-Man contributes a meaningful amount of power to the rest of the time. So 4-7, good stat line, and yeah, I'm sure we'll probably see. Yeah, I'm still seeing them. These decks. I'm still seeing the Wong, Zola, Black Panther decks, the Namora decks with him, and they're still out there. So, and now with Scarlet Spider, you might see them even more. So yeah, so I think it's a cool change. Galactus I already told about. To start, Negasonic Teenage Warhead is going up to a 3-3. Has been in a similar boat to a smaller degree as Galactus, they're saying. Resetting her ability with Symbiote Spider-Man has the potential to blow up a lot of power, but it's proved easy enough to adapt to Symbiote Spider-Man's looming combos. So we're giving Negasonic the power she needs to perform better on her own. I don't know if I saw anyone running Symbiote with Negasonic. I don't know if I've seen that. So if anyone is doing it, I didn't come across it. But yeah, I could see why it would be an issue. So she goes to 3-3. Black Panther is going to a 5-5. Well, you're certainly going to see Symbiote Black Panther decks now even more. Because now that lane, what is it? If you get it, the Wombo combo, you end up getting like a 52-point Black Panther. Well, now he's going to be a 53. Panther has long been one of the most exciting combo cards in Marvel Snap. The combo is awesome and has potential to take over games with the likes of Wong and Arnim Zola. We think that's a cool deck as long as there's enough counterplay to it. So buffing Black Panther should help the deck compete when it doesn't draw enough of the full combo, albeit making the combo easier to stop preemptively with Shang-Chi. That's good on the off chance this buff makes such a deck too prevalent. So yeah, so he would double and go to 10. And it used to be where he would just go to an 8. So now you can Shang it and stop that combo. So yeah, so okay, I can get that. They wanted to just do this so they can stop the combo from going off as much. that you can Shang-Chi. So they may bring Shang-Chi back here a little bit into the metagame with this. Craven is going to a 2-3, same stats. We've been glad to see the experimentation around new move deck lists with Madam Web and Ardania, but the rising tide hasn't lifted all boats. Rising tide has lifted all. I love their quotes. Craven has struggled to compete with Madam Web, asking to be played on the same turn. So we wanted to give him a little extra power to keep the decision interesting and hopefully prompt even more diversity among builds. Yeah, Craven had his time with the Kingpin decks, and I really haven't seen him being played much in regular move. So, yeah, maybe the little change will help him out. And lastly, we have Hercules. Hercules, 3-4 going to a 3-5. Hercules has similarly been struggling to make a major contribution to move. See, I would have thought this would have changed. I would have thought that with Madam Web, that they would have changed this, because it only makes sense. Like if you have Hercules in another lane, right, opposite of the Madam Web card, you can literally bounce like the Human Torch or bounce the multiple man into move it over from Madam Web to the Hercules lane and then pushes it back. So you're getting a 2-for-1 there. I would have thought we would have seen a little more of that, but I don't know. I guess not. Maybe the move players don't want it that way. Listen, I'm not going to try to understand move because I hate it. So it's, I'm not going to pretend to understand what their head is like with that. But I would have thought that would have been different. That it would have been just the opposite, and they would have had Hercules out there a little bit more. So yeah, that's really it. And this, of course, is the last OTA for this month. But that is really it for the OTA. We did get another cool comic book variant today, and in the shop, and that, of course, is the Thor variant, which is, and I'm sorry, Destroyer variant, which came out today. That is from a Thor comic. And we also have a bundle for that Psylocke bundle I talked about on the show, the Venomized variant. Mind Over Munch bundle's out today. Nanotech Ronin's been out. Spicy Spider Snack has been out with Ghost Spider. But yeah, the Bronze Age variant of the Mighty Thor Destroyer is out. Really cool. I had to pick that up. The cosmetics, there they are, staring at me in the face. The black cosmetic border for 1,000 tokens. Yay. Oh, and an album came out. That's what I wanted to talk about. I knew I came here for a reason. We had an album come out today, too. And it is another Spider-Man album. And that is called The Leap of Faith. Now, I was able to complete this one and not have hardly any of the cards they wanted me to have on the top. I don't have the basketball Miles. I don't have the Miles where he's kind of swinging. I don't have that one. Let's see who did this. The Kale New variant. I don't have that one. I don't have the sports variant. I don't have just a super rare with him with the hoodie. I don't have that one. I don't have the Chibi, and I don't have the Hellfire Gala. So I don't have any of those. So that was, but I still completed it because I had all the bonus ones. I have the Pixel, of course, and I have the rare one. This is the one that we first got when the Miles season first came out. Both of those, actually, I have those. I have the Baby. I have the Nullified. That probably would be a harder bonus variant for people to get because that was in the Newverse shop. I have the Boombox one. And I have the one of the newest ones that just came out. So I was able to get, you got an Avatar, 1,000 tokens. You got the reactions, the Miles reactions, which I'll never use. And we got this new homage variant. This is a homage to the McFarlane Spider-Man covers with all the webbing in the back of him. Pretty cool. Pretty cool Miles. I like it. It's probably my favorite one now. And I was able to use my current splits and stuff that I had on it. So, all right. So there you go, guys. That is the quick 15-minute OTA report. And I will let you know, of course, how the new Galactus performs, because I'm sure I'll be using him. I am currently now at 93 rank, so I could try a little push here to maybe get over to Infinite while I'm still on vacation. But otherwise, that is going to do it for this episode of Snap Decisions. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy all the card changes. And hopefully, I will talk to you all again. Actually, I will talk to you all again tomorrow because I have a guest coming on tomorrow night. That is Lufku, who was supposed to be on Wednesday, but we had to change up plans. So I will have him on the show tomorrow night. And then I will get an audio version of this out at some point, probably tomorrow morning, for the audio listeners. All right, so that is going to do it for me, guys. Have a great, great rest of your night. Please stay safe, be kind to one another always, and hopefully I will talk to you all on the next episode of Snap Decisions. Enjoy the new cards. Peace.